Zombie Apocalypse.
What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. This is Six Scale Economist. I was actually looking back through my records and I noticed I actually didn't do a standalone video for the Mandalorian Deluxe set, so I figured now is a better time than ever to get that out. So as always, first we're going to talk about this figure from a collection perspective, and then we're going to talk about it from an investment perspective. I mean, of the entire Mandalorian line, this is definitely the best figure. Like, obvious. Like, no-brainer. Like, collector's perspective, let's just go through it. Absolutely no-brainer. Day one pre-order for me, like, no question. So everyone was waiting for this Beskar outfit to like come out, and like came out, like absolutely smoked it. Like, Hot Toys nailed this one out of the park. I absolutely love this figure. Cannot wait to have this one in my collection. Everyone was saying like, oh, let's get a deluxe. We need like a deluxe Mandalorian with a Beskar outfit and Baby Yoda. Like, all the fans were like, that's what we want. And then Hot Toys just gave it to us. They gave us exactly what everyone wanted. We wanted the Beskar outfit, we wanted the jetpack, we wanted Baby Yoda, we wanted Baby Yoda's cradle, and they literally said, here you go, we're gonna give you all of that. And that's, you know, love Hot Toys as a company. So refreshing to be a collector of a company from Hot Toys as opposed to Hasbro, where I came from with Vintage Collection and Black Series. Like, such a nightmare with that Hasbro, the show they're running, but Hot Toys, like, just like, they're fantastic, and they absolutely smoked this figure. Just taking a look at like everything it comes with. Like, the cloth underneath looks great, like great material, very posable. Like, the cape, the outfit looks fantastic with the armor. The accessories are unparalleled. Like, you get like the flamethrower from the arm, you get the jetpack, you get the flame effects on the jetpack, you get like the ammo belt. Like, they just hit everything to a T. We're not even talking about Baby Yoda, which is just, they absolutely killed that as well. You know, you get like the gun with even like the wood finish is the way it looks. I'm sure it's plastic, but like, that looks amazing. The cradle looks fantastic. You even get like the little blanket with it. Like, you get two Baby Yodas, like one for the cradle and one to like put outside of it, which is like also amazing, because if you want to display Baby Yoda with like multiple Mandalorians, or like, you know, different figures from the Mandalorian show, like imagine if we get like a Cara Dune, like that would be pretty sick to maybe have the Mandalorian Baby Yoda on one shelf, and then another shelf like have like Baby Yoda like biting Cara Dune's finger, or like doing something, you know, like from the show. Like, I love that. Like, gun, amazing. I can't say enough good things about this figure from a collection perspective. I love this figure. When I get this figure in person, this could be like my favorite Hot Toy that I have in my collection. I just couldn't believe how much they knocked it out of the park. Like, you get like the Beskar here, like, it's just so incredible. The amount of, like, if to get the deluxe or the standard, this one to me is like, definitely get the deluxe. You know, like it says here, like, getting this cradle is so huge, and I know that it might seem like a lot of money just to get like this cradle and like the extra Baby Yoda. Like, I don't really care as much about the extra Baby Yoda, and I don't care that much about the Beskar here, but like, this cradle I think is really going to complete a really nice ensemble for your display, and I think it's totally worth it to pick up the deluxe. I know I certainly did. Like, everything it comes with, right? It comes with these, and he comes with the flamethrower, like the little flashlight thing that goes on his helmet. They get like the insignia right here on his armor. You know, the guns, different hand sculpts, an extra Baby Yoda, like on top of what is already an amazing figure. I love this figure. And here's, you know, a photo that we have from Secret Base, like seeing it like, you know, in person. Amazing. It looks amazing. It's exactly what I would expect the Mandalorian to look like. It's so screen accurate. The display base, I would have loved to have seen the display base with like the pull with the Stormtrooper helmet on it that comes with the original Mandalorian, but like, it's not breaking my back. Like, and it is somewhat of a unique display base, given that you have this extra part where you can stick the cradle. But this is like probably the exact pose that one of the poses I will have the Mandalorian in, except like wearing the jetpack, but like have Baby Yoda next to him in the cradle. Like, I won't have two Baby Yodas. I don't know what I'll do with the second Baby Yoda. Definitely a very welcomed addition though. Just have an extra Baby Yoda. I'm sure will come in handy, and I'm sure like, worst case scenario, I'm sure it will sell for a ridiculous amount in the secondary market, like $40 or $50 or something crazy. So like, you can always just sell that Baby Yoda too to help the all-in cost of this figure. This figure is unparalleled. This is Hot Toys at its finest. This is Hot Toys peaking. This is what it looks like when a company can finesse, like the ultimate finesse, and just absolutely knock something out of the park. They capitalized on an opportunity from an amazing show to give us this, the main character and give him everything that he should come with in all of his glory, and they are going to sell so many of these. They did a great job. So let's transition to talking about this from an investment perspective. Here's where things get a little bit tricky and I think a little bit interesting from an investment perspective. As you just heard, I cannot say enough good things about this figure from a collection perspective. I really think this and Captain Rex will be my two favorite Hot Toys in my entire collection. But Captain Rex I like a lot more from an investment perspective than I like this figure. Why do I not totally love this figure from an investment perspective? There's always a couple puzzle pieces that I mentioned for downside risk for investment perspective. One of the big ones being reissue risk. This figure is absolutely flooded with reissue risk. This is already the second iteration that we've gotten of the Mandalorian, given that we've already seen the standard version. This figure actually, I think, has a pretty capped upside, potentially. And here's the caveat that I'm going to give with it. Season 2, when Season 2 comes out, I guess now in like a few months, like fall, I think right now it's scheduled for fall 2020. We'll see what happens if they get pushed back or anything. But if his look is basically the same exact look that he has in Season 1, this look with the Beskar outfit, that's going to hurt this figure from an investment perspective. You already know for sure they're going to give us a Season 2 version of the Mandalorian. They're probably going to give us, like different accessories, something unique that he used like in Season 2. But if the overall look of that Season 2 Mandalorian is just basically the same exact look as this figure, you're going to see a lot of people just pick up that if they don't have a Mandalorian yet, and they're looking for one, you might just see them just pick up that new Season 2 version, given that it's the most current. And as one overarching theme that we've seen recently, especially with this Marvel resurgence, is people just love whatever is new. So if you see a Season 2 one come out and it's not that different from this one, people are just going to buy the new one, and that means that this figure is just not going to go up in value in the secondary market. There's just not going to be enough demand for it. But if we do see a very different look for the Mandalorian Season 2, whatever, it doesn't have to be like drastically different, but if it's different enough to where some people would want to have both versions of the Mandalorian, similar to how you see some people picking up both versions of the Mandalorian from Season 1, that would help this figure from an investment perspective. Like say like he has like, like full, like this is now like Beskar 2, and like maybe he wears like a different color cape. I don't know. I'm just like grasping at straws here and trying to like, like guesstimate like how he could be different. But like you do see shows, right? They from season to season they generally like change the look of some characters to keep it fresh and keep it new. So if we do see the Mandalorian in a much different look, you could see people actually want to pick up both of these figures, or you'll still see a demand for this version because people are thinking, oh, when I think of the Mandalorian, I think of him from Season 1 in that Beskar outfit. That's the representation of my Mandalorian, and that will support this figure in the secondary market. So the reissue risk of this figure scares me. This figure, like depending on how long the Mandalorian runs, this figure has potential to have like infinite like supply in perpetuity, like multiple years of seeing every season we see a new Mandalorian. And given that there's just potentially could be so much supply of this figure, that could hurt this version from an investment perspective. With that being said, you're not going to lose money on this figure. Definitely not. No chance. This figure is not going to go below retail or anything, even if there are, many different iterations of the Mandalorian. And anytime that would happen, like the relative value, if they'd ever drop below retail, people would the market would just buy that figure and say like, oh, I can get the new one that just came out, or I can get the old one, that's like 20% less than retail. I'm just going to get that old one. And that's economics. And that's just going to, as the demand for that one comes up, it will just bring the equilibrium point back to above retail, which is what I would expect from this figure. So you definitely have no downside with this figure. If you have any concerns about it from an investment perspective, I firmly believe you have no downside risk, but I don't think you have as much upside potential as you might think. So buy this figure if you are any fan of Star Wars of the Mandalorian. This like I said, this is Hot Toys in its prime. Buy this figure. Don't worry about your downside risk from investment perspective, but don't go crazy buying this thinking, I'm buying it because like I'm gonna keep it in my collection, but like as soon as like the new one comes out, I'm just gonna sell that one for an insane profit for like $450 and then go buy the new one. That very likely could just not happen. Like you could just see this figure kind of stay stagnant in the $350 range, $330 to $350, maybe $370 range, because of all the different Mandalorians that we're going to see come out. But these are only my thoughts. Please let me know in the comments section, what you guys think. maybe you guys think that this figure is going to do well, you know, let me know. And that's going to wrap it up. You know, make sure to comment. Thank you very much for tuning in. This is 6 Scale Economist, and we will see you in the next video.